Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm James, the Scottish part of 8Brits, also known as Just a Scottish Gamer. Before you listen to the podcast, I just wanted to say thank you for clicking on to our podcast. We really appreciate it and hope you enjoy. As this is our first episode, we decided to take a laid-back approach and go off the cuff, and it was an interesting outcome considering that we started late at night, about midnight. Round about that. I'll remember as we finished about 1, so we're definitely tired by the end of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy, and if you do like what you hear, feel free to hit the follow button and follow us on our social media. And if you can, please leave us a 5-star review since it really helps us with the algorithm. Also, if you do have any questions you would like to let us know, you can either contact us through our social medias or you can contact us through the email that we're going to be setting up hopefully soon for questions. But anyway, enough of that. Now on to the show. But I know what I'm going to talk about anyway. It always helps if I go off the cuff, because if I go detailed, I start stumbling over my words.
Same.
So I do.
I was going.
Yes.
Those sound like Crazy Dave from Plants vs Zombies.
Oh my god, yes, shout out. I feel like we're the only two people who get that reference. And the only reason I say that is because every other time I've brought up Plants vs Zombies with other people, they're like, what? Or they'll talk about the first person shooter, or third person shooter, whatever it is.
Other people never played like one of the best mobile games ever.
I know, like, I played it when it first came out, but on PC. I loved it. Like, it was amazing. It was nice, simple, and basic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Plants vs Zombies. A simple but effective concept for a game.
I remember. Okay, so see Plants vs Zombies. Plants vs Zombies was one of the games my mum got absolutely addicted to. Like, every morning she'd play it before, going to work. And and obviously it was on my dad's Steam account.
Power up.
So on my dad's Steam account, it shows the hours and it's like well into the thousands. And I'm just
Jesus.
like, wow, it's crazy. So obviously, as you can tell, Mum was very addicted to it. So I told her that, because this was when the news just came out that the second one's coming out. So I said to him, we're all like, oh, Plants vs 2 is coming out. But I was like, I don't think you'll like it. And Mum's like, no, convinced, like, no, I'll like it, I'll love it. And I was like, no, I don't think you will. And my dad already seen trailers, like, yeah, you won't like it. And I was like, no, just show me it. And I play it. And she was saying it in a nicer way, but she basically said, what the fuck is this? It's like, I don't want to play it. Because she has obviously no interest, stuff like that. She just wants to play a nice, me game where, well, you just use plants to destroy zombies. But to be honest, like, that's what I prefer, because I've never played the shooter ones, have you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, which ones have you played?
I've played 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I never played the new one.
Yeah.
Sort of like the newest one, sort of like, as far as I'm aware, it's sort of like shadow dropped. It sort of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, isn't it Battle for Neighborhoodville or something like that?
I don't think anybody's fucking played that one.
Yeah, I just remember seeing it all of a sudden again announced, like, in stores.
Yeah.
And then just coming out, but no buzz around it. And the only reason I knew about that was because it was when I worked at Smith's at the time. So I would see all these games coming out. As long as they're for console, if it was PC, like, Smith's had no interest in PC stuff. Except from accessories. That's because you could use it for consoles as well.
Yeah, I used to love the original Plants vs Zombies, Garden Warfare. I played a bit of 2. I didn't play that as much as the first one.
It might be something that we should actually try someday. Because, like, well, the actual one, that's a defense kind of game.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've racked like 20 to 30 hours on it. Complete, like, it's not hard to complete. It's like probably the most easiest things to actually complete. But I loved it. Kind of beat it.
Just a classic at this point.
What exactly?
Like Peggle.
Saying that, I don't think I've ever played Peggle.
I don't know, Peggle 2 kind of became a meme with me and my friends because it was on EA Access, as it used to be called back then, when that first came out. And that was on there. I was like, yes, the game everybody wants, Peggle 2.
See, I need to play this now. Because they were saying it was you're basically saying it's the ultimate game. I can tell the words you're meaning. Like, it's the best game. It's
the
better than
ultimate
every game. Like, if it came out this year, it would be Elden Ring for the Game of the Year title.
If you've not played Peggle, what are you playing it?
Exactly. Are you even a gamer? But, yes, well, here's the thing we need to talk about.
Yes.
What game are you currently playing right now? What are the games?
What games am I playing right now?
Yes.
I am playing. I've betrayed you, I'm afraid. I started playing Divinity.
Well, you started playing Divinity without me?
I did, yes.
Oh. You may as well just come up to Scotland and just stab me right in the back.
I'll just stab you.
Just going to start calling you
Finish you
Brutus.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
But
okay.
no, I've started playing it. I'm not too far in just yet, but I'm enjoying it. It's good
Not bad.
so far. It's nice to play a full-fledged RPG. Not gameplays wise, but it's very much like it reminds me of Dragon Origins. Not Dragon Origins, Dragon Age.
Yes.
I was thinking of Dragon Age Origins.
Hey, Dragon Age Origins is just an amazing game.
I still need to finish it. I'm kind of hoping. I mean, they'll probably fuck it up anyway, but I'm hoping they do a remastered version because it's showing its age a bit now.
Yeah, they should do. I did feel like it is starting to show its age, but it's still really fun. But I do think they should do a remaster or something like that, remake.
The only reason why I say that is because on Steam, it's a bit of a ball ache to get running.
Mm-hmm. It's like 12 years old now? Something like that?
When did it come to? 2008?
I think it was 2010.
Or 2010? Somewhere around there?
Let's see.
2010.
Yeah. So near enough 12 years old because it came out October. When it first came out, 360, I bought it, hated it, traded in for Left 4 Dead 2. And then I ended up getting it again, playing it, loved it, thought it was absolutely amazing. Never played the DLC, and it was not until years and years later I decided to pick up the Steam, and I only played like 10 hours. But before we get sidetracked, well, is there anything else you want to talk about Divinity?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I've literally just started it, so I haven't got too much to say. Maybe next time, once I've played it a bit more. But I did also start playing Fallout 1.
Oh.
So that's different. I've always wanted to play it, so I finally actually started playing it. Compared to games today, it's a lot to get used to. Just because it's very much your classic turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it's something I've got to eventually play as well, because I'm the same. I've always wanted to play the older Fallouts and as well as the older Elder Scrolls games, because it was one of those ones that it's one of those things you find an entry point into the series. Obviously, for me, it was a later one, Fallout 3, loved it. And I'd always wanted to play 1 and 2, but I'd never had the chance to play it. So I've always wanted to just get my hands on it and play it. But now I've got the opportunity to do it, and I've just not. I need to get into it.
Yeah, I need to go back through and play all the Fallout games again, because it's been too long since I've played it.
Well, you'll definitely have a lot of stuff to keep you busy. With it.
Fallout 4 is it's Fallout 4.
At least it's not Fallout 76.
That's true. It's not a bad game. It's just not the best RPG in the world.
To be fair though, it came not right out after, but it was the next game to come out after Fallout New Vegas, where a lot of people believe that is the high point of the series.
The thing is, right, Bethesda, I think it's awkward because who knows when the next Fallout game is going to be, because we've only just finished in Starfield, and Elder Scrolls 6 is still ages away. So God knows when the next Fallout game is going to be.
I'm predicting 2040.
Unless they give it... Yeah, well, it might be at this rate. Unless they give it to another studio again. Like they gave New Vegas to Obsidian.
Sorry, they're actually waiting for real life nukes to drop.
Yeah, might be sooner than later at this rate.
Yeah, true.
But did you see the mod that's coming out for Fallout 4? Fallout London?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that mentioned ages ago.
Yeah, it's coming out next year,
Oh,
supposedly. They released a trailer for it. It looks pretty good.
not bad.
It'd be nice to play something different or somewhere else in the Fallout world, considering I don't think Bethesda will ever do another country. Just because the game, every game's more or less been in America, so.
Oh, no, yeah, they'll definitely stick to the America part of the world. They might go as far as Canada, since it is the same continent. But that's as far as they'll go, I feel. But when it comes to moving to any other country, I believe that's the same thing with a lot of games, is they're just kind of scared to move out of America. You get some that try it, well, for example, games like Assassin's Creed series, they've always jumped between loads of different countries. So they've never been feared to kind of branch out to new countries, but to be fair though, Assassin's Creed has kind of turned shite. Well, I make it seem like that's recent. In my opinion, it turned shite a long time ago. But that's a topic for another day.
It turned shite as soon as Ezio stopped being the main character.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only exception to that rule I would say is Black Flag, which is a game I've not played yet, but everyone just says is amazing. I do plan to play it though.
Black Flag is great. It's not so much a good Assassin's Creed game, but it's an amazing pirate game.
But
the only other recent Assassin's Creed game that I like is Origins. I did like Origins because I felt like it was a step in the right direction again, but then they've ruined it with
Odyssey.
It's not that Odyssey's it's not bad, but it's just so grindy. And the fact that they're just shoehorned XP boosts into the game is just like, fuck's sake.
Just a joke.
I know. It's just like, oh yeah, this is why you were putting bloody XP boosts into a single player game. It's like, yeah, thanks Ubisoft. Although, as buggy as it was, I really enjoyed Unity. Just because of the co-op multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
But Unity was probably, other than Origins, probably the last Assassin's Creed I religiously played.
For me, my kind of stopping point was Assassin's Creed 3. I played the start of it and then just never played it. But I loved the Ezio collection basically, because I remember when Assassin's Creed 2 first came out and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Played it, loved it. Brotherhood came out, played it, loved it. Revelations, played it, it's alright, but still really good to me. But when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, they had multiplayer, which I loved. So that it was nice, it was basic, but it was still fun, kind of unique, since it was kind of like a hide and seek kind of thing. But one thing me and my mates always wanted, because we would always be in Xbox Live parties back in the day and just playing single player games or chatting, but one thing we always wanted was a co-op kind of version of it. And ironically, I dropped off Assassin's Creed 3, and if I just somehow had held on until Unity coming out, I would have had my dream, technically, playing an Assassin's Creed game with my mates. But to be honest, since the Assassin's Creed series really changed, I don't think I would really be too eager to play it, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Wait, did you see what Ubisoft are doing with, I think it's Assassin's Creed Liberation? I can't remember what it was, but they're basically making it completely unavailable.
Yeah, I saw that. I only saw it was one of those stupid kind of titles where they're being very vague, to kind of click you into it. Where it's like, they'll take it off, and it was just titled, Ubisoft is discontinuing a very popular Assassin's Creed game. I was thinking, okay, it's probably just a Assassin's Creed game no one really cares about, but let's see what it is. But I never actually, clicked onto it.
I can't remember what the other games were, but I know Liberation was one of them, which I think was it a PSP game? I can't remember. I'm probably totally wrong. I'm going to have to search it up now. It wasn't a
Definitely.
mainline game anyway.
Oh, no. I know basically the order of all the mainline games, but see, this is those kind of like spin-off ones,
PS
stuff
Vita.
like that.
Yeah.
I can never really tell. And the Vita, because I forgot the Vita existed.
I think everybody forgot the Vita existed.
It's a shame though, because everyone that did get it said it was amazing.
I wonder if Sony would ever consider making another portable console.
It could end up being on the cards, because Sony is one of these companies that like to not copy, but like take inspiration, bordering on the term copying of people, as in they're reactive.
Yeah, because obviously the Steam Deck's a thing now, and I mean, the Switch is doing great, but the Switch is a bit outdated now, isn't it?
See, that's the thing. The Switch, I believe, had its time in the sun, but it got comfy because it was its own niche thing. Because there was no really any portable consoles that could compete with it. So it was kind of safe, it could be comfortable, and people still buy it. But now Steam Decks came out, and everyone's just thinking Steam Deck's much better. That is, the people can get their hands on it.
It's only been out in February, I think it launched.
Yeah, it's about 5 months. Properly. Yeah, it was about February.
If it actually kicks off properly and it does really well, then maybe next console Nintendo might give a bit more of a shit and actually make a console that's a bit more competitive in that market, considering they might have, competition.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna have competition with that, but see, I do like to believe that Nintendo's once they bring out the next Switch, whether it's going to be a Switch Pro or it's going to be like a Switch 2, an upgrade of some sorts. I do like to believe that it's going to be a bit more powerful so they can kind of combat against Steam Deck, but I still think it won't be because I think Nintendo really rely too much on their established IPs, like the fame of it all.
Yeah.
Like Mario, because it's been like so many different Marios and so many different Zeldas. And to be fair though, both these IPs do have a massive fan base, so people are going to come back for it, especially even games like Pokemon.
What I do think's been great about the Switch is just how how much the third party publishers have embraced it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who would have thought that you'd ever be able to play a game like, Doom Eternal on the fucking Switch?
Yeah, no. That is gotta be one of the biggest surprises, because Doom Eternal, as you know, because you've played it and completed it like myself, that it's quite a gory game, and Nintendo's always kind of tried to keep that kid-friendly image, so they've always tried their best to steer away from too many, kind of games like that.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, this kind of generation, to be like, who cares about that, bro? We're going to just cram in quite a few. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there is like a few horrors in there.
Yeah, there is.
Obviously, third party, because the closest thing they'll have to first party is Luigi's Mansion.
The Resident Evil games are on there as well, aren't they?
Are they?
The Resi 4's on the Switch.
Oh, I didn't know that. To be
I'm
honest,
pretty sure it is anyway. I'll have to search it up again now.
See, to be honest, one of the things they should do is put the original trilogy on it. I think that would do well.
Revelations is definitely on the Switch.
Remember that coming out in the DS units?
The Resident Evil 1, the GameCube version.
Hmm.
That's on there, and I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 4's on there as well.
Bad?
Yeah, they are. Resident Evil 0, 4, 5, and 6.
Dang.
I didn't know 5 and 6 were on the Switch.
Well, the only two notable, the 5 and 6, so I'll say is 5. I just
can't
like to
imagine
play
playing
6 doesn't
Resident Evil
exist.
4 on Switch though with the fucking controls. Like in handheld mode, that's going to be a pain.
I think it'll be definitely be a bit interesting.
It's bad enough trying to play it on PC.
I know. Something I do need to play. I need to complete Resident Evil 4 before the actual remake comes out. Because I'm a big, massive Resi fan, but ironically, I've never completed Resi 4.
I've still not finished it. I started playing it, but I do need to get. I'm sure I'll get back to it eventually.
We'll definitely have it completed before the remake happens. That's our goal.
Well, that's what I was gonna say as well. I finally downloaded Alice to play because it took me ages to actually buy the game because, of course, it wasn't available for ages. Then EA finally sold it, put it back on sale again on Steam. So I finally installed it. I'll try and play it. Because I've always wanted to play it, but never got around to it.
See, I've never played the first one, but I've played a bit of the second one, The Madness Returns. And I did enjoy it. Yeah, so I did, but I don't know why I stopped playing it. But if I stop playing a game, it's always because of one reason, and other games turn my focus. Because I try to have too many games run at the same time, and one's always got to give.
I also need to finish. I've got Destroy All Humans remake to finish. There was another one as well that I was just thinking of, but I've completely forgotten now. Psychonauts, that's it. I still need to finish Psychonauts. I've got too many games to finish. The ones that I've started are not finished.
See, for me, that's why for the games I'm currently playing, like I've kind of shortened it down. I'll kind of just limit on how many games I'm playing. Because so, like, for example, as you know, I completed Horizon recently. And not just completed, like, got the Platinum, which I absolutely loved. So I did. You've only played a little bit of Horizon, haven't you? Just to be started bit?
Yeah, just probably about 4 hours into the game, so not very long.
Oh, it's definitely a game I think that you should really go back to, because I love the game. It's one of those games where it's an open world and it just doesn't feel like a crappy tacked on open world like majority of Ubisoft games nowadays. Because it's got a nice intro. I'll stay away from kind of story kind of aspects since you've not played it yet.
Yeah.
But I just love it because obviously it follows a character called Aloy, as you know, and she's kind of like shunned by her community. After that, due to certain circumstances pops up, she has to go out to more of the big bad world where she will encounter lots of different kind of machines, more different from the ones at the start of the game because it's nice little basic ones to kind of teach you how they work. They've all got weak points, etc, etc. But as you go out to the big bad world, you start to encounter lots of different ones and lots of bad people, and it's just got a nice overall story. Because that's one of the reasons why I want to stay away from kind of story spoilers, because it's got a good overall story, I would say.
Yeah.
So when it goes to side quests and stuff like that, it kind of falls off a bit. But to be honest, I just focused on the main quests when I wasn't doing stuff, to get achievements. When it came to side quests, I just skipped past the dialogue eventually. And then after I completed that, I decided I'm not going to do DLC right now because I want to complete some other games. And one of the other games I've just recently started playing is a game that near enough everyone's playing, because it recently came out, and that's Stray. So it's the cat game, and I've only got one thing to say about it. Well,
It's amazing.
It's amazing and it's heartbreaking. Just in the first 5 minutes, because I actually put up a story on my Instagram just saying, like, did anyone else heartbreak in the first 5 minutes? No, just me. Because are you okay with the little spoiler at the start?
Sure.
Well,
It's probably going to be a while till I play it anyway.
Yeah, because what is that it's not really that crucial to the story, but it kind of puts more into the meaning of Stray. But what you do is, like, if anyone is listening to this and they don't want any spoilers in Stray, I would suggest skipping a few minutes ahead, so you don't get much. There's not going to be much about it because I'm not far into it. I'm only half an hour in, so there won't be much spoilers, but just in case. When you first start the game, you're open up to a nice kind of scenery bit where you're in a nice sheltered area that's well, kind of ruins kind of bit, and there's rainfall. It's quite nice, kind of calm, and you're surrounded with free cats. And the whole purpose of the start, you got to go up to them, you got to interact with each one of them before you continue, and it's to kind of show you that you've got a kind of connection to them without words. Like, you go up to one, you play with its tail, you know, other one you play fight with, the other one you kind of nuzzle up with, and it's all kind of cute, like slowly tugging on those heartstrings. And then after done all that stuff with those three, they all go onto a cardboard box that's kind of ripped open and just lay flat on the ground, and they're all going to sleep, and then you go up to them and then you sleep, and it's all cute, and then it fades to dark and it hits a cutscene, and then after that it's basically you're on the move, you're going investigating, because it's no more, because you've woken up and there's no more rain, it's all nice and sunny. This is where it gets heartbreaking. So when you're on the move, you get to a certain bit where you're jumping across a pipe. Cat number one jumps across the gap onto the pipe. It's fine. It goes down a little bit. Then the other two, goes over, and this is going down, each more. And I'm like, oh no, I can see what's happening. No, please don't tell me. Please tell me they're just trying to make you think it's going to happen. It's not. Oh, but no, they wanted to absolutely destroy me. So they did. Because what happens is you jump over, and then it gives way, and then you fall down, and you're on a bit when you're trying to claw yourself back on. You're holding up just with your two front paws, while your other cats just look at you, vague looks in their eyes. And I'm just like, oh no, he's gonna lose his friends. And then he falls to darkness, and then obviously you wake up down there, but now you haven't got your friends with you. And I'm just, when that happened, I was like, you know what? 5 minutes is enough for this game. I'm just going to go sleep. I got work in the morning, using it as an excuse. But I ended up playing again when girlfriend came round, because I was typing up all this time saying like, oh, we got to play the cat game when it comes out. And, she started getting excited. And then she played it. I started the game again, let her play it. And then she wasn't as traumatized as me. I was like, I'm just absolutely traumatized. Like, I could easily watch horrors and everything and all that and not care when people die or if they're going to get hurt. Don't flinch when anyone gets killed. But as soon as an animal is about to have any distress or pain or anything like that, that's when I'm just like, no, because I just love animals too much. But she just played through that fine. I'm just like, are you even human? Like, how could you do that?
The one thing I have seen from Stray that I thought was brilliant is the fact that there was a cup of ramen, and it had, obviously, because I mean, most of the inhabitants are robots, aren't they?
Yes.
And it had ram in it, so it's ramen. I just thought that was brilliant.
That's beautiful. See, I know the overall kind of setting of it is the fact of humans aren't there anymore. It's literally the only inhabitants is robots. And then, as you can see, a wee cute cat. And then that's as far as I know. Everything else I've seen from one or two trailers, I've tried, as you know, I try to stay away from watching any trailers as much as I can if it's a game I'm really excited for, because I don't want to get too hyped up. But long story short, it is a game I definitely recommend must be played. So it is. And for the other games I've been playing, I don't think I've really been playing any other ones. Did you get through all the games you're currently playing?
So this year's been weird. I've barely finished any games, just because I keep finding new games I want to play, and then I just play them.
Mm-hmm.
If I've finished in the others, and I'm just like, why?
See,
it gets hard. I mean, you know what it's like as well, having a job at the same time, trying to play something. You just get back home and just like, you launch the game up, and you're just like, fuck this, I'm not in the mood anymore.
Oh yeah, definitely. See, I think the only reason I've completed games this year is because instead of like the usual where I'm unable to complete any, it feels, Is literally just because I made a goal of the start of this year. I was like, that's it. Okay, I'm going to try and complete 2 games a month. Or just, it doesn't have to be 2 games a month. It just has to total out 24. So that, equates to 2 games per month. I'm doing good so far. I think I've reached 12 or 13. Technically, some of them are little cheeky, additions, because it's games I've started ages before and I've just finished this year.
But yeah.
But I'm taking it. I'm counting that. Because, like you said, when you've got a full-time job, it's kind of hard to fit gaming in, because the time you do get some days off that doesn't really usually get taken up with much stuff, so you do get a lot of game time towards the end of it. But when you come back in those days when you got work and you come back in from work, you can't be bothered. So you can, because you'll get mentally drained, and for me, I get physically drained since I do manual labour.
I mean, the difficult thing for me is I always like having more than one game on the go at the time. Just because I find it easy, if I play one game for too long, I get bored of it. So, I have to have a mixture. So just, I can have a break, play something else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes then I end up having too many games on the go. And then it just spirals.
Yeah, because ones have got to give, or else nothing happens. Because you try to balance too many and you end up getting fatigued.
But I'm trying to finish Destroy All Humans anyway before the next one comes out.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely got to do it, because first one is beautiful.
I mean, I probably won't pick up the second one straight away anyway, but...
Yeah, wait for it to come down in price.
Yeah, I'll probably get it on this Steam winter sale.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that. I might do the same, but I also might get it day one, but it's just literally because I have completed the first one. It was actually one of the first games I completed this year. And also, I just love Destroy All Humans, I'm a fan,
It's just stupid potty humour, and it's great.
That's what I do, yeah, I love it. It's crude humour, but done well. I lack a better term. It's not, just stupid humour.
It's not just, it's edgy because
for the fun of it.
It wants to be. It's just, it's not edgy when, things try and be edgy, and it's just cringy.
Yeah, it's not forced. It fits all naturally into it. Yeah, so it does.
It's very good. I do like it.
The thing I'm sad about the second one is when Steam was having its Steam Next or whatever it was called, where they had lots of different Steam demos. What I found kind of annoying for that was Destroy All Humans 2 demo was up.
Yeah.
So it was. But after a few days, the Destroy All Humans 2 demo went away. And it went that way if you wanted to play it, you had to purchase the game. I'm not purchasing the game just so I can replay the demo. Because I was fortunate enough to complete the demo. But it's quite unfair for, say, someone like you. Because let's just say you completed Destroy All Humans 1. And you're like, oh, I'm really in the mood for that. I want to play Destroy All Humans 2. So I play a demo, and then you're just like, oh, no demo.
Yeah.
That's the point. So I hate it when games companies do that. They take away demos. Because demos is one of those things that's very useful and underrated, I feel. It's because obviously games like Call of Duty and stuff like that came out and know they'll just sell. So they've kind of popularised releasing games without demos.
Do you remember? Do you remember back in the 360 days when more or less every game had a demo?
Oh yeah, I loved those days.
I used to love playing the demos of the games, and then when I finally brought it, it's do you remember how sometimes the demos would be completely different to the actual game, or they were completely separate?
Yeah.
I brought the game. Sometimes I'd buy the full games. I'd be like, okay, this is cool. But then I was just like, I miss playing the demo just because of how much I played the demo.
For me, with demos, there's a lot of games that I played a demo of that I was never interested in the game, but I was just bored, so I downloaded the demo.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what, I really want this. One of those games two games that I feel that are very notable for me that I played the demo and thanks to playing a demo I actually end up getting was Explosion Man and Castle Crashers, which I loved. Loved Castle Crashers. One of my favourite games of all time. Definitely one of my favourite co-op games of all time.
I used to love playing Battle Block Theatre.
Yes. I love Battle Block Theatre, but never completed it.
I never completed it either, but I'm noticing a pattern here. When I'm finishing games, I don't know, the intro to Battle Block Theatre never fails to make me laugh.
Isn't it have a wee song where it's like secrets, or something like, you know?
Yeah, it's like when he's on the ship at the beginning, it's just like, you know, it started to. The way it started to thrash, it was like swish, swoosh, swish. I fucking loved that when I was younger.
See, that's what I just miss. Games that just want to have fun. Doesn't feel like it has to be serious or anything like that. Like tackle like major life decisions and stuff like that. It's just fun. Nice. Turn your brain off. Have a good time. Fun. But speaking about
Battle Block Fit is great. I definitely need to play it again at some point.
It's something that we should actually play co-op. We'll blast it together.
I feel like we should also play Portal 2 co-op.
Yes. That is on the list of crazy amount of games that we've got to play.
Exactly. And I want a sequel to actually scratch that. Did you see that they're making another Alien game?
Yeah, so
not Alien, actually Aliens.
Yeah, it's going to be is it a first person?
I think so. Yeah. It's probably going to be similar to the one Creative Assembly did, Isolation.
But
I don't think Creative Assembly have got anything to do with it.
I'm pretty sure I could be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure I heard there's something. It's going to be about a marine. It's for like following a certain marine. Can't remember.
It's probably going to be more actiony because like the aliens stuff tend to be like that, like how the film was, and the stuff named Alien tend to be the more horror focused stuff.
Definitely.
But it'll be interesting as well. I mean, it can't be any worse than Colonial Marines.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing that I will say in the defense of Alien Colonial Marines. Okay.
How dare you?
I know. I'm going to be speaking blasphemy, but trust me, I will kind of recover it. Don't worry. I'll just ask is to stick with me with this. But okay, so Alien Colonial Marines, when it first came out, well, when it was first coming out, it had a lot of hype around it. Everyone thought it was were pretty excited for it because I'm pretty sure it was because obviously Gearbox were doing it and everyone was talking about it, figured it was going to be good because Borderlands was a success.
Did they forget about Duke Nukem?
Oh yeah, well, we don't talk about Duke Nukem when it tried to come back. But with Alien Colonial Marines, when it finally released, everyone thought it was shit. So it was. And so did I. Like, I got it, tried it, didn't like it. But it was not until recently, this year, and I messaged you about it, where it was someone a while ago found out the problem, and it was literally just there was one line of code that was wrong. And then when you've changed that line of code, it actually fixed a lot of the AI problems. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll download it. I'll download it and I'll change the files since I'm on PC. So I did that and I played the game and was like, this is actually not too bad. It's still a 6 out of 10 game. But I went from like a 2 out of 10 to 6 out of 10. And I thought it was nice fun-ish, you know. I wouldn't say it was like, you know, pure fun. I started to kind of get a bit bored, but what I liked about it was when you watch the Alien films, you feel like the aliens are forced to be reckoned with because they're stealthy and everything. Yeah, so you never know where they're around really, unless you got a heartbeat sensor. But with that there, it felt you can get like overwhelmed with like the sheer amount of volume of ones that are coming at you, and also they felt like spongy, but not bad spongy. They just felt like they're like, oh god. But that did start to get a bit tired with it. I think I only played like 2 levels. I do tend to go back to it, but not anytime soon. Because like I said, it's like a 6 out of 10 game. So it's kind of one of those ones I'm going to play when I'm like really in the Alien mood. And plus I've not played Alien Isolation yet, so I'd rather play that.
The one game that I'd wish to make a sequel to is the Alien vs Predator game.
Oh yeah.
The one from 2010. Or at least just make a new...
That game was amazing. So 8 out of 10 kind of game, not a 10 out of 10, but it was just... The sheer joy from it came, I think, as it did multiplayer pretty well. Did you ever play multiplayer for it?
I did a bit, but even when I was younger, it was just like... It's like I could play as the aliens, I could play as the Predator. It's the most awesome shit ever.
Oh, definitely.
The only thing I wished it was still available was the OG games, because I don't think they're on Steam anymore.
I think they're on GOG. Yeah, so because my dad does have them on PC, so does, and I've played a bit of them. They're not bad. Yeah, so there. But the one thing I need to talk about is see the multiplayer in Aliens vs Predator. For me, loved it because it was in the peak of my Xbox 360 days where I was always playing on, and me and my mates would jump on after school and just play it. It was absolutely amazing because I felt a nice kind of balance between all 3 of them. Obviously the Marines are still a bit weaker, but so it was more of a kind of balanced match between Predator and Aliens, but it was still so much fun. So it was because there was... Well, you obviously got the Predator. Predator had a certain attachments you had to pick up, but the one I loved the most was Alien. The airplane is the Alien because you could just crawl on the walls. It was just so fun. But they did have a nice balance of it where Aliens had all these maneuverability and all the stealth mechanics and stuff like that. But the disadvantage it had was it was weak. And how they also balanced the Predator was it was kind of buffy, it could take a bit more damage, but it always only had really melee weapons, except from obviously it can find ammo, which was very rare for its blaster, and it could find a spear if I remember correctly, but obviously you can really only chuck that once. I think you could reclaim it, but obviously that's kind of makes it a bit more difficult. But it also had its different visions, like, you know, acid vision and like like heat vision. But then obviously you got your Marine, and the Marine was just basic, but it always started with near enough always weapons. But it was nice, it was balanced, it was fun. So as, and like also you mentioned earlier, you're talking about basically the campaigns, you can play as all 3 of them. I found all the campaigns quite decent. Some are better than others. Like I can't really recall the campaign from the Marines, but I remember the Alien one and the Predator one. I think the Alien one was the funnest, then it was Predator, and then it was Marine. What would you say? What was your favourites?
I always loved the Alien campaign.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the better ones.
Obviously it was the wall climbing mechanics. It was what made it fun. That mixed with stealth was just nice and fun. Like, there was nothing game shattering or all that where it was like, you know, oh, this is an amazing game, like never been done before. It was stuff that has been done before, but it was just nice fun. And also you just get lost in the AVP worlds universe.
Just have a look now. Does that look like the OG AVP is on GOG anymore?
That's quite shit. It is something though. It's got to become available some other time. So it is. It's only a matter of time.
I hope so. It's fucking annoying when old games just disappear.
Oh, definitely.
That's why I hope physical media always continues to be a thing.
Oh, definitely. I'm always a big advocate for physical copies, which I
Especially with
think,
this
yeah.
recent thing with Ubisoft.
Oh yeah. This is the thing that I find quite ironic is, okay, so me and you are big believers of getting physical copies. So are, because like you mentioned, problems like it's happened with Ubisoft does pop up where games get taken off, whereas in like if license expired, the digital copy has to come off, but physical copy will always be there. It just won't get sold. But obviously second-hand copies still exist. But the thing I find that quite ironic is we're both primarily PC gamers. And what's the thing we use the most? Steam. And what is Steam? A digital marketplace.
Yeah.
So I love that irony. But I do love it when I can get a physical copy of a game. Can't beat it.
Especially if it's an old game as well. You just think, oh, don't mind if I do.
Oh yeah. Especially old PlayStation games. For me, that's where it's at. What would you say if you had to go back to older games? What would be yours? Like, would it be PlayStation or PS1, PS2? Would it be Nintendo 64? If you had to pick one, what do you think would be the one you always go back to?
I think not necessarily go back to because of nostalgia or anything, but I'd love to go back to the PS1 era and stuff, just because I was too late for that party.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair though, I was kind of the same. Like, it came out when I was a kid. Like, the kind of like when I jumped into properly, like I was starting to more understand what stuff that was happening, was PS2. I did play a lot of PS1 games, but I was too young to really, take them in and enjoy them. Like, for example, I played the Resident Evil games when they really came out, but I was too young to really understand. So it was kind of really, I had not enough skill to properly, play and enjoy it. Because obviously I'm just like, oh, shoot. I'm not really thinking, oh, you have to save all these bullets.
if I was going off nostalgia, then I'll choose 360. That'd be easy, because, that's what I grew up religiously playing and have the most, memories of. So that makes sense for me.
Yeah. Now, see, for me, I'm quite similar to you, but my choice will definitely always stay PS1. Maybe PS2 some days. But 360, I do get what you mean. Like, I spent a lot of my days on Xbox 360. It's when I started to shift over to online, kind of gameplay. Because before that, the only time I ever played online games was on my dad's PC playing Unreal Tournament, which was fun. So it's bad. I very rarely played it. So when I got an Xbox 360 and I first was able to jump online, I played games like Halo 3, COD 4, Crackdown, loved it, was amazing. Beautiful introduction to games, especially with those free selections. Every time a new COD came out, played it, had lots of amazing memories with friends. So I would say from a multiplayer basis, if I was to focus on that, I would go back to Xbox 360. But the reason I don't choose Xbox 360 is because a lot of these games I can still get. It's very rare there'll be any games I would want to plug in my 360 for, or Xbox One, since obviously it's backwards compatible. So that's why obviously I don't do it. And as you know, we've played Master Chief Collection so much, so I'm getting that aspect. So that's because we play a lot of co-op games together and multiplayer games. So I've got that multiplayer aspect. So I don't really feel like I love those times, but I don't feel like I miss them as much as I think I would. So that's why I would always choose PS1 and PS2. PS1 primarily because I love the games of like the original Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3, mostly Resident Evil 2 and 3. I loved Medieval and Medieval 2. I loved Soul Reaver, like these so many amazing games. The only thing I think limits PS1 is janky controls in some games, since obviously 3D games weren't as finely tuned. And also the other aspects was graphical limitation and power limitation. So it kind of limit what game developers were going for. Like, you can see their image, like going back to them nowadays, I can see what they're going for. And that's why I would really love remakes of all these like games. I know that seems to be a controversial opinion now, because people don't want remakes of games, but I believe remakes should still continue, but they should be really careful on what games they choose. I don't want to see remakes or remasters games that do not require them, or I can still easily get my hands on. I'd want to see remakes of games that deserve them. Like, for example, when they remade Resident Evil 2, or should say reimagined Resident Evil 2, because they both follow the exact same story, but they both have different game style and everything, and I love them both. I always treat them as two separate games, but I always put them on level with both of them, how they're just beautifully made. But sticking with games that just need remade of, like, well, good remakes, the Spiral Collection, that stayed to the original, but it remade it from the ground up and it improved on it as the best way to play. So if they just continue remaking games that would benefit from it, I think people will start to not hate seeing remakes as much. Because I just really want to see Soul Reaver remade well. That is all I want. That is all I need in my life. That and a Medieval 2 remake.
Talking of GOG, you've seen that they got the original Legacy of Kain games on there. The OG ones.
Blood Omen, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that on my Steam library.
I wonder if they're doing something though, because I know if you go on the Soul Reaver page on Steam,
yeah,
and GOG, it says about it being removed by Square Enix for important updates.
Ooh, that's what I want. There is talks that it could be happening. I really do want it to happen, because it's just, there's nice potential there.
I always love games, or especially remakes, that add it in so you can switch between the new graphics and the old graphics.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I love about Halo 2 Remastered. Whether you play that solo by itself or as we've played it in the Master Chief Collection, because you could more adjust that on the fly. You could adjust on the fly in the Halo 1. Yes, so you can, but it was kind of limited, as in you couldn't change it in cutscenes. Whereas in the second one, you could just spam that button in cutscenes or anything like that. And what I also think is also a good issue as well is it can show you where a game's come along, graphical wise. And also it helped prove that the original Halo still holds up today in a way. Because there was times that me and you, when we were first playing it together, a lot of time we forgot we had the old filter on. Well, not old filter, the old textures on. Or if we had the new one. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, just immersed in the game, you forget. You don't notice these, graphical differences as much. But obviously if you were like, oh, okay, thinking of what version I'm playing, it's like, oh, I could easily see that is one that came out, many years ago. But they still just look beautiful, the games.
I think from what I've seen with Soul Reaver, I think I don't think it's Square Enix. I think GOG are just working on it to make it actually run on modern hardware.
Yeah, they should definitely do that.
So I think did they sell Crystal Dynamics?
Yes, they did actually.
When they sold a bunch of their companies off.
I'm pretty sure they did. It's either they sold it or they're selling it. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they got rid of all their companies that weren't.
But I guess it depends if. Well, I imagine Square Enix probably own the IP still. But
they better make something with it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I just want to see it remade, and also just making them playable would be good, because on Steam I do agree they're unplayable. First one's not too bad, because after like a few hours of like trying to get to work, it eventually does. But the second one just is unplayable. Like, it will load from the get go, so it would, but it's just very unplayable. So it is. I would much recommend people to either play the originals on PS1 or PS2, or just get an emulator and do it. Definitely would recommend that, because then that way you can appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Rather than basically just trying to play a port. Because what I love is the PS1 and PS2 games emulated play absolutely amazing. So, it should be done. And PlayStation and all these other companies that make stuff like this should really take, note of. Because the games that have been remade, well, not remade, have been ported over on the PlayStation Premium, so like Siphon Filter and Toy Story, they don't really go that well over. They're decent enough, but just not as good as what you'd get on like something like DuckStation. So, well, before I talk about PlayStation Plus Premium, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I feel like I've spoken about what I wanted to speak about.
Okay. Well,
Not too much.
I shall
Too much
go.
more to say.
No worries.
I'll let you rant.
Yes, because I need to rant about this. Okay, so PlayStation Premium, as everyone knows, came out. Lots of people talk about it. Lots of people giving their word on it, whether they're defending it or attacking it. It's kind of divided, so it is. And for a long time, ever since it came out, you've been hearing me constantly saying like, I want to upgrade to one of them, but I don't know if I want to upgrade to the extra or the premium. Well,
Yeah.
I ended up upgrading to the premium because it was not much pricier for the upgrade, since I pay yearly, and since my membership runs out in January, I don't have to pay a major sum. I only had to pay like £25 to upgrade to premium.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. So I got that, and so far I'm just kind of underwhelmed because I downloaded Toy Story. It plays okay and all that, but it's kind of like And so far what I've came with is it has potential, but if someone was deciding between extra and premium, I would say look at the classics first, and if there's none that really sell you on it, wait for other games to come out. Just get the extra, because the extra tier is the best bang for your buck. Like, say if you're just in the essential tier, I would recommend upgrading to the to extra, because that's how I'm playing Stray Day 1. But it's not just that, it's got Returnal, Demon Souls, God of War, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, all these really pricey games on it. So it's nice, worthwhile, getting the extra. Premium, I would only recommend getting if you were in the same situation as me. You only had to pay like a little bit extra to get add-on to it, but I would not say it was worth £100, just to get, personally.
Yeah, I mean, that was my thinking on it. It's like, it's compared to Game Pass, I just don't think it's as good of value for money.
See, one thing I will say though, just to quickly add in, say for premium, like I said, it's the classics. It's not just PS1 and like PS2 games. It's any games that counts as classics. So like games that came out on PS3 but they've been remastered to PS4 or PS5. Because the one thing I have downloaded before we jumped on was the Mafia Definitive Edition, and I'm going to do Mafia 2. So that's two, games I really want to play. So
Mafia 1 and 2, great.
Yeah, I've never played the first one, but I love the second one. I played that on PS3 and it was amazing.
The first one's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Definitely.
Although I've only played the remake, I haven't played the original one, just because I've seen how clunky that game is.
definitely agree with you. It is amazing, and the reason I can say that without actually ever playing it is just because I've heard like so many good people, so many good reviews about it, saying like, but obviously it does have its flaws because, like I said, it's clunky. But as in, there's games that you can look past the clunk, to still appreciate.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's a lot of people that get to focus on one aspect, saying like, oh, if the gameplay's shit, don't play it. If the story's shit, don't play it. Or if the graphics is shit, don't play it. Like, it doesn't matter how good other features is. It's if they're that one thing they're focused on is terrible, they don't play it. Whereas I don't care about that. If a game's got a really amazing story but terrible graphics and clunky controls, I still probably play it. And same with other ones, because as well, I like playing PS1 games and PS2 games. So obviously, I don't care about graphics as much. So that's already ticking one thing off. And then it's got clunky controls, a lot of the games. So you can tick that off. The story's amazing. And still, to be honest, there's a lot of PS1 games the controls hold up, fairly well. Yeah, some of them may have bad camera controls, but still just as fun. Because a lot of games you can look over it. That's why I feel PlayStation is built a very successful legacy over the years, more than Xbox has. Because Xbox just kind of focused on their like main IPs like Halo, Gears of War, etc. Whereas in PlayStation, over the years, made kind of wee niche games and stuff like that, and had other exclusives and that are branched out. It's kind of tied.
Yeah, I always feel like in terms of exclusives, other than Halo back in the heyday, Microsoft's always been lacking.
Yeah, it's the only thing they've really focused on. But I think that is a topic we should keep for the next episode. So we should.
Probably should say just ranting on and on.
Yeah, because that is going to open up its own can of worms that we'll probably end up talking for another hour.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Probably two. With the kind of topic idea that I've written in. No. Why am I saying I've written in? You've written into our Discord. It's because I'm reading off my screen, so I was like, oh, I've written in, but I was like, wait, hold on. I didn't write it. But yes, we should leave that one for the other time.
Yeah, probably best, actually.
So, before we end this, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Is there anything else? Probably not. No, I don't think so. I think I've said more or less everything that I've got to say this week. Until next time when I've played a bit more.
Yeah, that's going to be our goal.
These games. Just to play in between.
Yeah. So, for all those that are kind of wondering, what we're going to do is, as podcasts go on, we're going to have games that we kind of play on the background because, well, we're gamers, so obviously we're going to be playing games. But what we're going to do is we're going to have little games that we're playing through, and then we're going to maybe give updates on them. It depends if we've had enough time for it to be noteworthy. Because, as well can back up, we've had weeks where we've been very busy and we've made very little progress in games that we've played. So we've had weeks where we've played like loads of games, so we've got a lot to talk about. So we have, and the thing is also we have very similar approaches to games, but sometimes we are different. Because for example, Will will like to blast out a lot of games, so he will kind of dabble in a few. Whereas just recently, I've managed to kind of stick to one or two games. So
what you want about?
It may change. I may end up going back to that and having too many games, and then end up resulting the same thing it always is, where I play too many games and then one's got to give, or they all give, and I end up just not playing them all. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else to add. Do you, Will?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
There we go. So we'll lay a cut off here, and I was going to say something there, but I completely lost my train of thought there because it is close to 1 a.m. and I started feeling tired at like 6 o'clock. I'm so old. I'm only 26, but I feel so old. But yes, I don't know when this will go up because it's our first episode and we might want to create a bit of a backlog because our schedules are pretty hectic, so it's kind of hard to stick to a routine. I say that Will is always on perfect time. It's more kind of me that's the issue with my
No, tonight I was on
absences.
later than you.
But you still turned up,
Fair point.
so don't be harsh on yourself, Will. But yes, I'm going to end it here because we're starting to do our normal where we just start rambling on. But yes, hopefully this will go up soon, and we hope to hear from you all sometime. I don't know. I can't do it. Outros. Maybe one day. Probably not. I was streaming for over a year and I never perfected doing an intro or an outro, so it probably never happened. But yes, I'm going to hit the stop button now. Or else I'll just ramble.
Bye.
Bye.